Hello and welcome. Right, I think this is probably going to be the last. Is it going to be the last cut? It's like, yeah, completely. There's no stage 3 or 4. It's like it's ready to chop. So I'm going to say my words. We're going to go into a time lapse. I think there's one. Now, the very last cut, I've always said this. It depends on. I think we can process it. I do. Right. So let's have a look. What is this? 9 foot forwards. Right. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Alright, I think that's about it. I reckon we've actually done almost everything. So just needs fertilising, that does. That's very excellent. Did it with 249 litres to spare. Not exactly, yeah, a little bit close. But yeah, I realised I left this last session and I was supposed to like set this going. So it means that this was not fully fertilised. It was only 50%. My bad. Yeah, I did think, I'm sure there was something I missed. It was one of those sort of things. And then I saw this where it was, and I thought, that's what you missed. That's what you missed. So then, you think there's one more cut that we'll, because I think we can actually cope with the grass being as we've got the BGA, and we'll put that straight in one last time in September. In fact, actually, for once, it doesn't matter if we cut this even in November, because it's sort of we go into the end of the year, so it doesn't really matter. I think we'll process everything from that, and we'll do all that we've, like treat this as if it's going on to the very last minute. So it is, yeah, we've done the animals, we checked that session. There was no sort of room at the inn, so let's just go up till 3 o'clock. It's not going to affect the, oh, okay. Right, what did we search for? That is the question. Can I remember? Oh, yeah, we did it, didn't we? I realised that we'd actually got... Wow, it's a cracking price, is it not? I might actually... I tell you what, it's that cheap. I've got to be honest, that is just unbelievably good value. That we can use the LH2. We could ask for another LH2, and we could use our two... stupendous 900 horsepower, or if they are 900 horsepower, we can make them 900 horsepower and actually seriously, is that going into the back of that? No, it's not, it's just close. Yeah, it's true, we could. So let's grab another LH2 and see. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't always talk nonsense, but sometimes I do. Definitely do sometimes talk nonsense. I think we all do a little at times. We mean that we think we're talking sensibleness, but we're not always, are we? Is it in this? I think it is. I think the LH2 is, because it is technically sort of like a, or is it in miscellaneous because it's sort of, I'm sure it was in this. Maybe it's sort of special headers? Nope. I know it's a harvester. That's right. It is. Yes, definitely. I mean, there is the other option. We could also, I don't think they're capable of like, yeah, they're not capable of using that header I don't think we've just bought. But let's have a look. That's 500 horsepower. I'm sure that is actually bigger. What we just bought, so it is a lizard. Lizard Colossus is horsepower requirements for that is... No, that's not the right one. It is a Colossus, but it's not that one. They don't always have an obvious... cotton, forage cotton. Also, it's 840. I thought it was monstrous. Yeah, so... We only just are going to do that. So it's definitely the LH2, definitely, that we need. So it is a harvester, technically. And we will indeed follow the rules of finding used. Fantastic. And then we will continue our... Yeah, let's move you off the field. So completely fertilised. Yeah, last time I tried to roll a grass field with the proper grass roller... It didn't actually work, but I can't remember if I was in precision farming. It's because, we've all got these things that we do always do, and we've all got these things that we don't always do. And when you try something like new, and it doesn't work out right, you tend to think, right, okay, yeah, that's a load of rubbish. But it's often the fact that we've not done it right. So it could well be that. Right, I'm meant to leave you on with that, actually. So let's crack on to 3 o'clock in the day. And We shall see what we shall see. Yeah, I thought we may as well do as much cotton as we possibly can, is what I was thinking. We've got that massive random. Oh, no, we've done it. That's it. Excellent. We've got that massive header. Header? Oh, header? Seriously? Is that what you're calling it? Oh, the forage picked up by Fluffy Mods with 60% off. Is a beautiful bit of kit. I never ever think it's silly not to have this. Because especially it's a good price like that, you might not use it, but what I'm saying is it is more than possible. And remember, the main reason we do this is for the wool and the milk. So let's not forget this and dart off or anything silly like that. Let's just grab these, and I love the shine he's done on that, the bed on that trailer. It's like mirror glass. Amazing. Yeah, I did a bit of modding earlier, well, a bit of blendering. I always, sometimes if you're tired or you're not quite in the right mood, it doesn't go right. It went right to begin with, and then it started to go not so good, and I thought, right, this is the time to leave it. I'd sooner do a little tiny bit at a time and get that right than sort of carry on and fluff it, because you get to that certain stage and then you think, oh, we should have quit 10 minutes ago. So I thought, well, if it's, we're doing a little bit at a time, that'll do me. So we'll leave that one half-form bale. Drop this in here. Yeah, I had a good chat to JM Gaming earlier. He said, let me have a look at your mods. That let me have a look at the errors from Giants, because obviously he's been through the process, and he assisted me, and he said, you sort of you always got to remember that we're the amateurs and they're the professionals. He said, you sort of, in their eyes, as professionals, committed a few cardinal sins that, although obviously they're not, in their eyes, it's probably why they did what they did and sort of threw them out. He said, so what he would do is not concentrate on so many, and it is true. Although we know that they do allow some things that are not unique, but it's usually modders like Omatana or DD Mod, not DD Mod Passion. He does his own thing. He never really does anything like that. Chris S. and Riley S. that sometimes do things that are a bit crazy and get away with it. BDSSB, again, it's his reputation that he's got a flair for creativity, and he's not always at Black Sheep modding. The clue's in the name. Sometimes does things, and because they have the reputation that, well, if they do it, people are going to want it anyway. I think Giants would give them the leeway because it goes with their name. But if you're a new modder, they're not going to give you that chance. You're going to have to prove that you're worth, that what you've done, your first creations are worth them taking a look at. That you're, as they say, you're improving their workflow, which is what they were on about. So I said to him, I'm not going to give in anyway. I am determined. But I said, I'm going to take your advice. I will. What I'm going to do. I said, my placeables are unique. I said, nobody else has done anything like them. And I think my recipes are fairly sound, fairly balanced. So I thought, I'll do that. Or just do one. Make sure. He says, yeah, make sure there's no errors. None at all. I said, yeah, well, my last mods were like that. I said, the first ones, obviously, when I first started, they weren't error-free. And he said, that's a mistake as well. He said, it's got to be sent in with 0 errors, really, for them to take it seriously and you seriously. So I said, right, no problem. Let's get it done then. So I've got to be honest, the self-sufficiency and the mini self-sufficiency that you see here was one of the first mods of mine that I actually thought was unique. It's similar to Omatana's Farm Supply Production, but it's also similar a little bit to Cavalier Roy's, which also was a little bit zany and had some unique twists. And I've certainly done that with this, and it is a Swiss Army knife for farmers, as I said, and it is completely different from the one that I did put in originally. And I think it is quite a unique looking creature, so I think we'll go with that. And then we shall see what we shall see, and then I'll just perfect each one. That's not going to take much work. I need to remove the BI. It's got to be Lizard. It has, all unbranded without any kind of brand, which is easily enough done. So I could just shift the BI. Now, obviously, in the Let's Plays, It's BI Industries. It is. But like for Giants, I can just switch that off. I literally, it's as simple as me switching the decal off and giving that to Giants and removing the fact that it's called BI. And then that is really done because it is. Now, I think some of my materials need a little bit of tweaking because Giants, it moans at them a bit and says that they're not quite to Giant spec. So again, a couple of things I need to, but it really is almost complete. There are very few areas left on that because for myself, they're not areas that are like important, but they are if it was going in for testing. So yeah, nothing major. If I like switch this on now, if there was, yeah, that's not even my error, the yellow on there. If there was honestly anything glaring, for actually, yeah, just for the realism of this, if you were to place this as a bit of modding sort of like thing, what you would do, this is an extreme self-sufficiency. Ah, right, okay, that I've never placed, so that's typical, isn't it? What a bad example. Isn't it true? It is, yeah. Some of those I've never placed, so they like it sort of does show that they need a bit of work. But yeah, production straw enhanced should be coming soon. Here we go. Mini self-sufficiency. Now those errors you see is the only error it's got is error index not found 09000 and error failed to find child 1 from. So there's inside that there's a couple of things that it can't find. That's all that's wrong with it. That's the only error of imports that you could see. And you would always see that when you're actually, if I went into the, just say if, in fact, yeah, no, it's true. Let me show you this, because this is what a modder will use, and I think you're probably all interested in this. I'm not going to go on about it a lot. So if I pick something that is my mod, one of my mods, I've got a small tractor. In fact, yeah, this is something I'm planning on tweaking a little later this very evening. So if we go to the BI7A, it's lost its decals, okay? So if I click on that and then I do that, that will tell you anything about that because I've got it selected. Missing DDS file, basically the graphics files. Oh, that's a mini BGA actually, so that's telling there's missing ones on that one. I didn't know that. And then Xylon, again, actually that's not to do this at all. That's the BI Xylon. That was because we're still in this and it was close to, we just went through it. So this is, and again, the oil plants. So actually, that's not got any errors. You can see it says see users, dunk documents, my games, farming simulator, 25 mods, FS25, BI model 7, BI7A. There's no red errors with that at all. Yeah, so that's what a modder would look for in a mod that they were going to bring into this, because it shows you what's wrong to a degree. Yeah, there's a bit more to it than that, but it's a big indicator. If there's anything glaringly wrong, I mean, if there's terribly glaringly wrong, your game's going to crash. Yeah, if it's going to be serious, but that's another matter. Yeah, it's even little errors, it's going to show the red. Yeah, if I sort of showed you the same trick with something like this, it will have no errors at all, nothing. It will be absolutely clear of all errors, and that's, of course, what Giants want to see. They don't me to crash your computer or your Xbox or your PlayStation with a mod that's poorly crafted. And there are degrees of errors. Yeah, there are silly little errors in case where I've not forgot my capital letter or have forgotten my capital letter, and Giants would mark that as red, which I think is nonsense and a little bit overboard, but nevertheless, it is Giants that call the shots, and if they say it needs to be a capital letter and I have done it in lowercase, then obviously it will show a red glowy line on whatever I've done wrong, and it will actually call me out for case. It's true. They are really the secret police of that. So then, that's enough modding talk. I don't want to bore you all, but yeah, just a little bit of obviously what really goes on behind the scenes and when people make models and tweak things and all of that type of thing. Right, so let's go through till August morning. And indeed, we could go 9 now. We could. It's beginning to turn. So soon we will be. What I'm going to do, hopefully, is we're going to get to the month of the cotton harvest, which is all that we're sort of waiting for. No, I don't think we will actually. Yeah, because there's all the sheep and everything to do every single day and all that. So, and isn't that amazing? We were just talking about that. That is just highly hilarious that you would just talk about the very mod and then the very next day it actually brings it in. That's crazy. I actually like that. It is a beautiful bit of kit. So we've not got one on this Let's Play. Isn't it strange? As I was coming in, I was thinking, I would actually, I thought I'd treat us to mine if like my tractor came. But I sort of, obviously another thing is I'd like to sort of show it because, to be honest, I intend to fix the errors on it, as in like today I want to put some the new BI symbol on it and also the BI Industries decals again that should be there and were there but somehow went wrong when one of the editors changed, and then I've never fixed it since because really I'd already done it. But yeah, it's not going to take me long to do that. So I think we will treat ourselves really to that. It's a very good price for its horsepower. It is a really powerful. It's good at pulling because of its power, but it's still a light frame vehicle. You can never forget that. So it's 465 horsepower, massive engine, but it's still only a light frame. But this is why I wanted this. I think I can't recall anyone doing. Everyone goes for big, strong tractors. Now I like a light, agile tractor, but this is medium at 6.8 tons, so it's not so small, light, but it is light. But also because of its smallness, it's very nippy. It's a very, very agile tractor. So therefore, you've got best of both worlds. In my mind, these are the kind of tractors that people should be modding because, I'll tell you this, what I'd like to mod is the AB. Might grab the FS25 one because that was not, I think the one is a Hispano mod, I think. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's Hispano that did it, so I'm not going to be stepping on his toes by grabbing his, but I could get the FS25 one that's in the mods because I think that was a Giant, but I might be wrong on that as well. Yeah, it is Hispano. So I wouldn't like to. All I'd like to do is tweak it to something like a 175 to, just chip it a little so it's not too silly. Because if you look at the AB, it's a bit special. There's not a lot of room for a big engine in there. You could sort of soup it up a little. You could chip it, and you'd probably get an extra, maybe 50 or 70 odd horsepower out of it, but you're not doing much more. So I don't think it's too terrible to chip it to be something like that in the chipped version. Because I love that. There's so low centre of gravity, really good. You'll not tip that over. It's so squat and wide, but it's such a beautiful, really glorious thing it is. Right, anyway. Let's get a little bit of work done. Yeah, so I think there will be another adjoining session because we've already done quite a bit of work on this. So let's get this little lot sorted. It's true, actually. We could sort of grab that on top of that. Grab 2 sets and then get the milk. Oh, the grass is still doing nicely, so I don't think we'll need any grass. Oh, okay, that was a bit messy, Mr. Smith, that one. I concur. It was a tad not so good. Now then, I would imagine, yeah, we are. We've got 3 sets of that. We need to be checking the price on our row. It's a really good business. I thoroughly enjoy doing the route. Now, let's have a look. That's true. What is the price? Is it like 3.6, 3.4? It's pretty much ready. Most 5.4. It's might be worth slightly more later. It says it's going greener up, but it doesn't go much higher anyway. So, right, let's grab the rest of the wool. And then we should grab... Yeah, it is actually easier to actually grab those than it is to grab them with the milk. It takes longer to drain them into the tanker than it does to just stick it in. So I think we'll just stick it in. We'll actually grab them. So let's grab that other one. Now this is difficult to do because that's going to grab the milk Oh, okay. Well, but you did it better than you thought. Yeah, I apologise for... It's difficult to grab this because it obviously... It does go wider with its straps than it sort of should do, so therefore you've got to be careful because it's like now, if I go too far left, I'm going to grab the tankers as well. So you've got to sort of do it a bit badly to compensate for the fact you're going to grab the milk tanks. So, yeah, it is what it is. But it is true, I love this, the rope business. It's a cracker. Yeah. And I do think none of my mods I was looking at the wood chip mod that I've sort of like not copied because I haven't, but I was going to do something like it anyway, and I've done it, but I've not done it the same. But mine's nowhere near as powerful as that. It will do like 190 odd tons, 1,000 litres every single night, so it really is very powerful. It will like get through millions of litres a year. But I don't want that on any of mine. Then none of them are that powerful. Even if you've got a super, it still chugs very nicely at a fast rate. But it's not. Nevertheless, I've used them on lots of Let's Plays and they make me lots of money. But they're not going to make me rich overnight. You know, they're all brilliant. I think they're all quite balanced. They're nowhere near as powerful as that. The self-sufficiency and the mini self-sufficiency. If anything, that was its cycles were originally similar to Omatana's. The mini is like half of the big one, but the big one is very powerful. That's a bit like that. It does 250,000 litres of some of the recipes overnight, so that is powerful, and it always was supposed to be. Because based upon roughly Omatana's recipe, approximately so. Right, so that's done. We've check the sales, so I believe, yeah, that's it. So that is going up. We could check that. We did the honey again, so yeah, that is actually, I'm a bit, yeah, I'm not so happy with this. I don't know whether it's the small dairies like backing up them. It is, yeah. So there's plenty of honey, plenty of goat milk, but this is a bit poor. Butters, I mean, I didn't expect the butter to be as good as it was. Oh, goat milk bottled's not terrible. Goat cheese is not terrible either. Yeah, so not as, no, it's just not ever. When is its price then? When is it supposed to be good? January for the chocolate and the butter for this special, and the goat milk bottled is also January. Everything that I did, the goat cheese is October. So the normal goat cheese is, yes, October. So that is not too far away. So we ought to keep our eyes peeled for that one. Let's zip and go through till 3 o'clock. And I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, I think we'll leave it. Oh, okay. It is random, this, because I do like it. Oh, we asked for the forage harvester then. We must have done. What is that? That's, oh. Now this is the one I like. The look of it's about like the old. Its horsepower requirement is, doesn't say it has, but I would imagine to pull something like that, it really is a bit of a special. I like it. It's very unique, is it not? Now, if we were not so far in, I would actually treat us to that because I'd like to have a look at it. But as it is, yeah, I think that's obviously what we ordered. So actually, if we don't get the LH, so that's Gordon Bennett, 1156 horsepower. That's a bit of a beast, isn't it? It is indeed. So that's what we're buying, 130, and it's got the long pipe. No, it hasn't. We're paying extra, but you know, I do like it. Yeah, I actually quite like Chris S. Morales' choice for the Colossus. I like it to have the glory that it should have. So let's take this to 3 o'clock. Well, unless we find the LH2, of course. But we don't need it now. But hey-ho, it is what it is. You don't always find the things. Sometimes you do lose them as well. So it's a bit random. Right, fantastic. So then let's check. Ooh, animals. Yeah, we didn't fill the thing, did we? So then let's have a look how... Oh yeah, quite a bit this time. We've been slipping. Definitely slipping. I don't come quite under that. Oh no, I think we're not far off. We're not far off. It won't be a lot this time. Oh, it will. Fantastic. Excellent. Let's move back a little tiny tad so that they can go without thinking we're like taking the mick. So there we go. Right, let's get this little bit done. Because it is the extra. As I said, it's... This is what I'm saying. This is your extra and we still get... well, are we getting a full thing in the morning? Well, the other thing is, I'm not sure our adults are only just adults. So, I mean, all of them have only just turned adult. We did take a while for us to like fill the enclosure. But it's definitely filled. We keep seeing all the thousands that we're earning. Like, thousands and thousands we've earned from the sale of the young over and over again. So, yeah, on that score... It's been a cracking business. So we'll just shift the milk out the way for tomorrow so it's not in the spawning area. And we'll also check the price of the rope and see, did it go up? Is it like going a little higher? So rope is 5.6. It is. Now that's about as high as it goes. So we ought to be selling that too. So even with those expensive items that we bought, treated ourselves to as we're leaving the Let's Play, we certainly are making good cash right the way down to the end. Of course, we've also, yeah, I think the soup is probably enough really to cope with this. I don't think we'll need an extreme on this. I think with having this, I think we have got super, haven't we? I'm sure we've got super rope maker. I'm sure we did that. We said if we're going to do this business, we're going to do it well. Now, so it's not actually, yeah, the walls going ahead and ahead and ahead. So maybe we are going to need an extreme then. It's actually getting further and further behind. Right, so let's get this sold. 15,000 leads. So this is the equivalent of 15 of the Giants ones, you know, 15 individuals. So it really, I still think it was a wise decision to do the 5,000 litre pallets. But that's another thing. Obviously, JM Game was on about unique. I don't think anyone's rolled everything. Like obviously we had that fantastic mod, the 5,000 litre pallets in FS22. Now I've rolled all of that. I've rolled in the fact that it can have like different levels, a standard, a bionic, a super, and an extreme, which again, although I've done it mainly for content creators, it still, nevertheless, is good for everybody. Although I wouldn't suggest using it is extreme, as the name says. It's like 10 times a super. It's really like I do it to finish a Let's Play off. But again, you know, I thought content creators... people like myself, but also players can. It's one of those things, you know, definitely that's, I think, does bring something new to the game that nothing else has done so far. Not in all in one package. You don't need the upgrade factory mod because I've got upgraded types of the same building, and the first one is just a little bit better than the small productions that they were based upon originally. So yeah, it's a... They're not overpowered, not by any sort of stretch of the imagination, which is why they are cheap. And also they're made from reclaimed materials, so they are cheap on purpose because you're paying for reclaimed wood and old silos. But obviously, the BANs just make them hexagonal because they're a little bit special. I wanted to do something completely different. It is also a game too, so... Ooh, bit of juddering going on here. What's that about? I have no idea. So we can grab you. We don't any additional extra costies. And we may as well grab that 54,001 as well and sell that too. But also nice to see how heavy that is. So again, I've never, ever, ever ever had that. We want that. That's ours. Please don't sell that. Wow, it's a beast, is it not? So we've got 2 of those headers. One for the LH2. And obviously we've got fluffy mods as well. Yeah, as well as one. So really, if we finish right now, we'd be spot on. Yeah, did we? I think we repaired that. I'm sure we did. No, we didn't, actually. Fantastic. No, we'll leave it. I'm happy. We're doing very well. It's up to 508,000. Let's just quickly shift you out of the way a little bit now. We could grab the fluffy mods with you, really. Yeah, so it's a bit of a shame. We've obviously had the beautiful JHHG's harvester, but we sort of went for something a little bit different, didn't we? Now, although this couldn't use the forage, it can... Oh, no, it can't with this, it can't. I think we've already taken the LH2 down, haven't we? Let's get this repaired. We probably won't use it, but you never know. That's what I thought. You can never... It's always handy to have a belt pickup, I always think. Always. You never know when you might need to pick up some wood chips, or... It's just such a fantastic thing. Right, so let's grab this and one of those forage harvester headers. So I'm going to be using this, and we've got the 2 cotton harvesters that are going to I'm going to set them all, both going on a field each, and then what I'll do is, because I'm expecting myself to finish way before the traditional harvesters, and then I will assist them, and then we'll grab them all when we're finished, and we'll have another session at least where we're going to do all the finishing. Oh wow, that was cheap. That was not quite so cheap. No, not quite. So smashing. So this is ready to rock and roll now along with that. Excellent. So I think we'll probably one more session, I would say, till we... Or do we go through till the morning to assist? No, because I'd like to leave the session because there's going to be one more cut as well. So that'll be September, October. And I think it's October, November when we're going to get the cotton. It is. So, yeah. In fact, it probably will also be the grass as well on the last session. We may as well cut it as late as possible. It doesn't really matter for once that that's actually cracking on. How are we doing on our digestate as well? Our yearly build-up of digestates. Nah, plenty. Yeah, plenty of room for that. We're only doing the silage, aren't we? We've not done any manure or slurry to make that. So that's doing nicely. Oh, it's only a bionic small dairy. Ah. Yeah, so it's probably about where it should be, really. I do think my dairies need a bit of work. I think they're a bit... But that's dairies in common, really. It's not really just mine. They tend to be a bit weak. I think I was saying this the other day. When in FS22... When I used the upgrade factory mod, I used to have to go to about level 11 or 12. That's a real lot of levels to get to an amount where it would keep up with like 40,000 litres from a massive farm every single day. You would need a monster of a dairy. So that's the kind of thing I'd like my supers to sort of be able to cope with, about 40,000 litres, and they can't at present. So I think I just need to think your supers have got on that particular thing needs to be a lot better. Even if it was 20 and you needed 2, but I don't really want that. I want one that's capable of looking after a very large farm, and that would be the super. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I really want that particular mod to do, because they are a bit underpowered, I've always thought. So yeah, I might tweak that to be like 4 times what it is at present, the super, on just the dairy. So yeah, we'll, on just coping with milk in common. So if it did all of its things, as long as it gets through 40, which I suppose, actually thinking about it, it might actually do for all of them. You know, with all of the chocolates and all of the rest of it, it might well. There's a point actually. Obviously this has changed. No, we did think about it. Honey chocolate. Where is the honey chocolate, by the way? Oh, it's there. Chocolate 2584. Yeah, so that is doing nicely. We did think about it. So honey. Oh, that's quite a heavy loss. 0.6. Why are we not making pig food? I'm quite sure that would be very nicely edible. Maybe it's the kind of loss that you can't, like, fix. Maybe, actually. That's quite good. So the goat cheese, we said October, so we need to keep our eye on that. And then there's the standard chocolate with sugar. We suppose we should have made a bit of sugar. Yeah, you see, we've got that on. I added this a while back just to give it a little tiny sugar machine that actually really does bring in the sugar to make that. So we sort of are missing a bit of a trick. We could buy some sugar in and make some sugar beet in and then actually make that go to make the other chocolate, standard chocolate, not honey chocolate. So yeah, this is obviously, again, as I said, a unique dairy that nobody else has done anything quite like it. So again, unique field types and 5,000 litre pallets, different levels. I think all of that is quite unique. So probably, I don't want to go too mad though. I'm going to take JM Gamer's advice. I'll just do one to begin with and see how that goes. Because if it comes back with they don't like this, then I need to like change it. Then if that gets accepted, then I'll move on to all the placeables. Because as you can see from my productions, I have a shed load of them. I need them to be error free. So that is where I'm going to leave it. Yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me, because I think the ending of this is going to be rather exciting with all of the bits and bobs. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with this like tremendously well, because we've got 4 things capable of... Oh, that is a point, actually. We've got the Randon. What trailers have we got? It's no good like ignoring the fact we've got a big Randon. We've not really got a lot of trailers, have we? Because obviously 2 of these are going to be loose. So we... Oh, that is a point. Yeah, I never thought of that. Okay, well, we're going to stick to our rules. In augers, I have just finished. I missed this. It was actually like cottoning on that the Colossus root cot was really the Amity rebadged. And it was when I realised that obviously I love the Amity equipment, I didn't realise. I've seen it and I never cottoned on that it was all bulk, but it's pretty much, and it's a 60-tonner. So I thought, well, in that case, is mine showing? Oh, was it crashed and burned? Oh, or have I not ticked it? Oh. Well, I did earlier have a mod in that was actually... So I must have actually done something that is upset it then. No. Either that or I didn't tick the fact that it's in. Ah, okay. So I have. I can't show you because it's not in here. Ah, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, I've done one of these myself. 2, in fact. Yeah, and it literally physically is larger. Much, much larger. Oh, is it in my single test mods folder? And I've not... No, I've done it in this as well. Yeah, it's about twice as big as that. So it's 125 tons legitimately, because it is now. But the only bad thing is it's got high sides. So something like a cotton harvest. So yeah, it'd be perfect. But like if it was a starting harvest, it's never going to reach the heights that it needs to on the sides of that. Because it's obviously, imagine that being about a third extra high. Little harvesters will never be able to like clear that. So it's... But for things like a forage harvest with a big pipe, oh yeah, it's ideal for that. Or if you're just lugging stuff around, it is ideal for that too. So yeah, I need to check why that's not showing. Because it was there earlier. Yeah, it was. I did do a bit of tweaking there, so I probably like done some damage to it. So, but yeah, that's where I'm going to work. I obviously can't do that, but I will have a look at that next session, hopefully fix that, and we will literally get one of those ordered, hopefully in time for the end of the Let's Play, because we do need a couple, really. We've got the Randon, so that's 1, but we definitely need another 1, because we've not really ever needed big trailers. I don't think we've got any. I'm sure we haven't. we'd best to look on the map, I would say, and see what, like, things that we've got on there. We haven't got many trailers, it's true. We've got quite a few stone pickers. No, we've seen them. We know what they are. That's the voucher. Yeah, that's the Randon. I think it's the Colossus. Oh, the Power Push. That's the other one we've got. But I think it's only a 25 tonner. So that's it. We've just never needed, because obviously, like cotton bales, they're not traditional. How are we doing, by the way? We know we've still left you up there, haven't I? Should have run you down. Yeah, I'm really glad that we got this. Let's just quickly run this down, and I shall say my goodbyes as I'm driving back down to the farm. Yes, so all that remains to be said is goodbye for now.